From the headlines that move us
to the plays on the field and the people making a difference.
It's new sports stories that keep our community alive.
This is the Heartbeat of Tampa Bay.
I'm Christopher Ingram.
And I'm Sarina Fazan. Thank you so much for joining us, everyone.
Sarina, I love this guy that we have as a guest today. Brian Burns is the former publisher of the Tampa Tribune before it got bought by the Tampa Bay Slimes. And he is now the publisher of the Tampa Free Press, which he has been running for several years. Does a great job covering a lot of sports, a lot of local crime beat stuff, news. In the Tampa Bay community and as well as politics around the country, and they get tons and tons of views. So, Brian, welcome.
Thank you.
I know it's amazing, Brian, everything that you're doing, everything that you've done. Clearly, I mean, a journalist, right? A journalist at heart, and and a profession that we're proud of, and you're continuing to do it.
Yeah, you know, it's and the media business has changed so much, as Chris knows. I mean, Chris and I did some work together at the Tribune, at the Tampa Tribune. And, you know, the business has changed quite a bit. Corporations have taken over. And then you have citizen journalists all over Twitter or X now. And, you know, it's the entire process has changed, right? It's very quick. It's very now. And we try to do a little bit more in-depth stuff, especially with, legislation, politics. You know, court cases, that sort of thing, and, you know, kind of look into the whole story as opposed to 160 characters on social media. So it's a little different. A little different, right, a little different.
So in between leaving the Tribune and starting the Tampa Free Press, which you've had for what, like 5 years now?
Yeah, six.
Congratulations,
And between
Brian.
that, you went to the Lakeland Ledger.
I did, yeah. I ran Ledger Media Groups. I ran the Ledger and the News Chief in Polk County. And that's how I became good friends with Grady Judd.
Grady Judd. We had Grady. We went and saw Grady a couple weeks ago. And, we talked about you. But you have a unique story about how you got into media and journalism, because you did not go to school for this, right?
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous. It's funny. No, I did not go to school for this. I actually went to school for computer science, and you know, but I started out in the Army as a military policeman, and then I was a firefighter in Michigan, and I wanted to get into marketing. I wanted to learn marketing. I was learning computers at the time. And I started applying at different newspapers and TV stations around the country. And the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette called me one day and said, "We'd like to meet you." And I was like, "Really?
Really?
Okay, let's do it." And then I started out, I started out in sales and then just kind of worked my way learning the business. It's a very interesting, print media is very interesting. And I know it's changed so much. It's gone away, unfortunately. In my first paper, the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, they were closing, and then a small startup in Baltimore, a newer paper in Baltimore, actually purchased the Post-Gazette so it wouldn't close.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, it's such a shame because, I've spoke at different universities, University of Tampa for one, and I always, with Chris's class. And, sometimes I bring in those famous front pages. And the kids all want to see it, like young people that live on TikTok and live on Snapchat, and they want to see this stuff because it's so interesting. But that's what newspapers did every day anyhow. And people just forgot that.
It really created a historical record that doesn't exist on the internet. Now, let's talk about local, okay? So you were at the Tribune. They got bought by the Times.
Yep.
They decimated the local print media landscape here, right? And you and I have talked about this ad
Oh,
nauseum
yes,
for years.
certainly.
You don't have to divulge any secrets here today.
Sure.
But it really, we are the largest media market in the state of Florida, and we effectively no longer have a daily newspaper. I'm originally from Naples. Naples still has a daily newspaper. We don't here today.
Yeah, and Naples is I believe is a Gannett paper.
But it changed so much here, right? And what do you see as the biggest loss to the local community, given the landscape of the print?
It's funny. There's a great writer, sports guy named Ira Kaufman, who still is a journalist today, but he was with the Tribune, and during a documentary that we were filming on the kind of the downfall of newspapers, Buddy Kerr and his wife Deb did an amazing job on this documentary. And Ira Kaufman said in that film, he said, a paper's like $1.25 or a cup of coffee. He said, I would take the newspaper because you're going to pay a toll if we go away. And he's exactly right. You know, because the internet's so fragmented. You know what I mean? So and it's a lot of opinion.
Yeah.
It's not news, and you have every journalist out there that's writing their idea or their opinion, even if it's not true. It's just an opinion, but it's taken as news, and that hurts a community.
It's scary, actually. Like, I mean, we remember the days, right, before you even put anything out there, you had to confirm it. If it was an investigative piece, at least 3 sources, 3 reliable sources. Now you could just put anything.
A hunch.
A hunch.
Yeah. Read something on a bathroom wall somewhere, now it's news.
Right.
And
it happens constantly.
Right. And people,
happens constantly.
People actually believe
they
everything. Do. It's just very sad. I mean, I think it is so sad.
And do you see, I mean, the demise of print journalism has been going on, like that debate, for well over 25 years. I thought 10 years ago it would be gone. I'm still surprised there are daily newspapers left. I miss it. I love a daily newspaper. I wish we had one here in Tampa Bay. But how do you see the trends?
Well, I think they're necessary. But, the problem is the cost of a daily newspaper has skyrocketed. So, and then quite frankly, the customer service, once you have a subscription to a paper, the customer service has just gone downhill. But the problem is there's all these elements involved in making a paper that have become very expensive. Plates, ink, the paper itself, paper rolls are expensive. So you have all this expense, and then the carriers and the different, some markets, the different unions, like the Teamsters, who actually go out and take these papers to distribution facilities. And then you have the drivers, and then, to get the paper on the driveways. It's a lot of money, and it's the advertising dollars. Newspapers, I think, wanted, there's some folks, David Dunn Rankin down in Venice, Florida. David still prints. He does a great job. He wasn't focused on digital. I don't want to speak for David now, but he wasn't focused on digital. He was focused on his print products. And that was tremendous for him. He was still doing great business.
La Gaceta here in Hillsborough County is the same way. They don't have a real online presence at all. It's just the once a week.
And that paper goes to the White House.
La Gaceta?
Yeah, it goes to the White House. It's one of the papers that actually goes to the White House.
Well, Patrick would be thrilled to know that. I'm sure he does.
Yes.
So you're running the Free Press now.
Yep.
And that's going well.
It is.
Tell us, honestly, like I would love to know, like how did that start? How did that happen?
It was Kobe Bryant passed away in a helicopter crash.
Yeah, I got you.
And I was I was working in technology, some applications, augmented reality applications long before Meta was around. I know that's it uses artificial intelligence and augmented reality and all these different elements. And yeah, I built a website and I started
writing.
Yeah, did a little story on Kobe Bryant, and then we started doing more and more stories and brought some good people on board. Chris, you actually introduced me to a couple of the folks that were for
Rock Riley.
Rock's great,
Rock's
man.
a big guy. I wrote for him for a little while.
Really?
Yeah. Chris did.
I was like, come on,
He did some funny op-eds.
Oh yeah, we did.
That darn near got us banned from. Right. Yeah. We almost got in some trouble, but it's been rewarding. I think it's going to continue to be rewarding. I would love, people ask me all the time, we're going to have a print product. We did a story on during the World Cup with one of the local sports celebrities who handles a lot of the Lightning stuff, and he actually took one of the stories we did on him and he framed it so it looks like a newspaper.
That's cool.
And everyone was texting me, "You guys have a print paper now?"
I did that, yeah.
It's so we don't, but I would love to, but it's just too.
And it's funny you say that because that tangible element is what I always like. Having
it's amazing
being able to take an article and frame it.
One of the questions, if you remember, I asked
internet.
those kids in your class, Chris, how many of you were in your local newspaper when you were in sports in high school? And the hands would go up. Yeah. How many of you have that still in a frame? And you can't get that now.
Yeah.
You can't get it now.
Sad.
So it's changed a lot.
Well, anything new and exciting coming up with you, or are you just trudging along?
Trudging along, man. Politics is keeping us busy. A little bit of Iran and, a little bit of Save Act,
Any predictions on, let's say, the governor's race in Florida?
man, that's going to be, you know, Donald's looks like, from all the polling, Donald's on the GOP side looks like he has it. David Jolly is up for some debates with Donald's. I don't think he's responded yet. Donald's wants 3.
Yeah. And Jolly will do it. He's got nothing to lose.
No, Jolly, I remember sitting with Jolly years ago when he was Republican.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I was at Bay News 9, I had him on Bay News 9. And actually, I had Jolly and Charlie Crist at the same time. And it was me and Alex Sink were the hosts of that.
Oh, wow. That's
of that segment host that we did. And it was kind of funny. And now they're both Democrats.
Yeah.
Isn't that something?
Yeah. How about the St. Pete mayor's race? Are you following that at all? I know you're in Hillsborough.
Yeah,
but,
really
Charlie's
not
a
following.
candidate right now.
You know, and Charlie's strong, man. I mean, you know, we haven't done a ton on it, honestly, but I've known Charlie for a lot of years, and you know, he's popular, man. He's popular.
He's a very likable guy. I mean,
he is totally likable, man. Who doesn't like Charlie?
Empty Suit's a bad name, but
right,
he's a really likable guy.
Yeah, it's very interesting because he is very likable. I remember when Governor Scott, Rick Scott at the time, and Charlie was running against him, and you know, sitting with both of them was incredible. But Charlie was really polished, man.
Yeah.
He's polished. He's a great guy to talk to.
Yeah.
He really is.
You
I mean,
know?
when I worked in traditional television, he and I worked together, and we passed a law after that horrible attack of the Bloomingdale Library survivor, I say. And he was the governor at the time, and we passed a law. He helped me, and we passed a law on providing better health care for victims of assault. We fought so hard and to get her better care. And so I know, I just feel like, I know, you know, he's changed parties, so on and so forth, but the bottom line is, he loves this state. Yeah. You know, I mean, that's just how I feel.
So does my plumber, but we don't.
I knew Chris. If anybody's going to have something to say, that's great. It's Chris.
Sorry.
Well, Brian Burns from the Tampa Free Press, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, guys.
You got great stuff, and we'll have you back again soon.
Sounds good.
It was so good to see you.
Nice to
so
see
good
you.
to see you.
Every story shared
Adds another heartbeat to Tampa Bay.
from courage to the community.
We are so proud to tell the stories that keep our community strong.
Thanks for watching The Heartbeat of Tampa Bay. All right, man.
That was fun.
Thank you. Yeah, appreciate you coming in.
You guys are freaking so good at this.
I don't know, you're so sweet. You should come in.